Hi guys, Casper MMA here, and today we're back with another UFC prediction video on the channel. Today giving my predictions for UFC Fight Night, Bautista versus Oliveira. Now, last week's fight card went pretty well. Overall on picks, we only got 3 wrong, I think, in total, for 2 or 3. And 2 of them included 2 underdogs, and I bet on Fiziev and Torres, Finney, and they both lost. But that's, not the end of the world there. The rest of the picks went pretty fine. I tried to stay up to watch it, but I was drunk and I fell asleep. So I watched like the main event, put an alarm on, but yeah, didn't watch the whole card. I might need to go and watch the fights back. But we've got another fight night up in front of us this week, so looking forward to giving my predictions. But before I do that, make sure you guys are new around here and you're enjoying this content, you go down below and hit that subscribe button. It's free and it's really appreciated. So I've got the card up in front of me. There's 13 fights, not the best card I've ever seen. There's a few good fights to be fair, but overall not the most exciting. But we kick things off with the first prelim of Priscilla Cachoeira versus Claudia Syguła. Now, we've got Cachoeira, I have no idea how you say that. The Brazilian woman, 13-7 record, 37 years of age. So she's getting on a bit. 5-7 in total in the UFC. Only won 1 of her last 4 fights. That was a uppercut KO over Josiane Nunes. So impressive to be fair. But around that, she's been finished 3 times in the last couple of years. She was not too bad in the UFC, but yeah, she's kind of fell off a cliff and she's only getting older, so don't have much hope for her. But her opponent is Syguła, the Polish woman. She is 7-2, 27 years of age. She's had 2 fights in the UFC. She joined 2024, and she lost once to Melissa Mullins, but then beat Oleksiejczuk in her last fight. Got the decision win. So around that, she only lost once outside of the UFC, and just got a few wins. Most of the wins come by decision. So this is just your bog standard random women's fight. Honestly, it's a toss up really. Could go either way. But I'm gonna back Syguła. I just feel like Cachoeira hasn't been doing too well recently. Only 1 win in 4 last 4. So I feel like Syguła, the younger fighter, has got a good chance to win here. So I'm gonna back Syguła to win by decision. So moving up the card to moving Gafurov versus Jakub Wikłacz. Now, Gafurov is a 20-6 Tajikistan man, 29 years of age, on a 2-fight win streak, to be fair, in the UFC. Beat Kyun Ho Kang, and then beat undefeated Rinya Nakamura in his last fight. So, not a bad win, to be fair, coming off. Did obviously get subbed by Syed Nurmagomedov before that, and then lost in his debut to John Castaneda. But overall, he's a decent fighter, to be fair. Gafurov, he's not too bad. His opponent is Jakub Wikłacz, who's a Polish man, 17-3-2 record, 29 years of age. Former KSW champ, came to the UFC, won his first fight with a split decision win over Patchy Mix. I mean, Patchy Mix got to be up there for one of the worst ever runs in the UFC. I mean, 2 fights, 2 losses, look terrible. So and he's straight out the door. But yeah, got the win over Patchy Mix, which is impressive. People were probably counting him out quite a bit in that fight. I'm pretty sure I did as well. To be fair, but yeah, he got the win there, and overall, I think he is a good fighter. So this one also is a close fight. Gafurov being in the UFC longer, has some good wins. Wikłacz is on a pretty good winning streak, to be fair, in his out of all of his fights and stuff. So I'm gonna back the Polish man coming off a win in his last fight. I'm gonna back him to win this fight, and I reckon he gets the decision. Now moving up to another women's fight, Kong Wang versus Eduardo Moura. Now. Wang is a Chinese woman, 8-1 record, 33 years of age. I mean, she is pretty good. I mean, that we obviously saw her debut when she KO'd that woman in the first round. That was awesome. Then she kind of got fraud checked because she thinks she's 6-0 undefeated at that point. Got fraud checked by Fernandez. Got subbed in that one, but she has won her last 2 fights in a row. Both wins coming by decision. I mean, she likes fighting Brazilians apparently, and she's fighting another one here today with Moura, who's a 12-1 Brazilian woman, 31 years of age. Also a pretty good fighter. Only 1 loss, which is a split decision to Denise Gomez in 2024. Around that, she's had 3 wins in the UFC on a 2-fight win streak as well. So pretty much similar, identical UFC path at the minute, with 1 win by KO in a debut, then a loss, then 2 wins by decision. So I'm honestly very toss up again. I mean, I'm not, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not being very selective on who I'm picking here, but I can just see these fights being pretty close, to be honest. Like, I can't pick a winner that confidently. So I'm going to be backing Kong Wang to win. I mean, both of these women only have one loss on their records, so they're both quite good. But I'm going to back the Chinese woman in Kong Wang to get the win and keep her winning streak going. So I'm going to back Wang to win by decision. Now we move up the card to Javid Basharat versus Gianni Vazquez. Now, this fight was originally Basharat versus Nurmagomedov, and I thought I was going to pick Nurmagomedov in that fight to win by decision, but he has pulled out now. So we have Gianni Vazquez, I don't know how to say his name, stepping in on short notice. He's from Mexico, 13-4-1. He's on a win streak, to be fair. He's won 5 fights in a row. His own loss, like in the last couple of years, was to Edgar Cachoeira by submission, but another UFC fighter there, so it's not the worst loss to have. And he's been on a decent run, few wins by KO, submission as well. He looks an overall decent fighter. On the other hand, we have Javid Basharat, one of the 2 Basharat brothers fighting on this card. The 14-2 man from Afghanistan, 30 years of age. I mean, he is pretty decent, to be fair. Obviously, lost his last 2 fights, got KO'd by Ricky Smo, which is kind of crazy. I don't think anyone was expecting that to happen. Then lost to Zahabi as well. But his first 3 fights in the UFC were pretty good. Won the Contender Series, then got 3 wins in a row by decision, being like undefeated opponents in there as well. So then he's just had a shaky bit with a no contest and 2 losses back to back. But I do feel like Basharat should be winning this fight. He might not. I mean, Vazquez coming into the UFC might make a statement on his debut, and we might chin Basharat again. You never know. But I think Basharat, with the UFC experience, I feel like he should come out on top here, and I'm going to back Basharat to win by decision. And now we move up to another fight, Bruna Brasil versus Ketlen Souza. Now, 2 Brazilian women fighting each other here. We have Bruna Brasil, from Brazil, of course, 11-5-1 record, 32 years of age. I mean, her last couple fights have just been like, it goes lost, win, lost, win, lost, win. So she's due a loss really here, if you go by a record. But her last win was on the road to UFC. I'm not sure why that is. Yeah, no idea. She lost to Kong Wang and then fought Shi Ming, and got the decision win there. Obviously, Shi Ming was had that like crazy like head kick KO, which is cold. But yeah, overall, Bruna Brasil, very average fighter, 3-3 in the UFC. She's got a few decent wins, but then also a few losses. But I mean, she's still alright. Ketlen Souza, on the other hand, is another Brazilian woman, 15-6 record, 30 years of age. Not at the best time in the UFC, really. I mean, she's 2-3. To be fair, 2 wins are alright. She subbed Yasmin Uregui when she was like 11-1, and then she has lost 2 split decisions in a row. So she's been getting unlucky, to be fair, you could say, against Angela Hill and Pira Rodriguez. But overall, I mean, she's just, not much to say, really. Both these women are pretty average in my mind. So I have to pick one of them, and I'm going to back Bruna Brasil to get a win. I mean, she's due a loss by a record, but I feel like she's going to change that. She's going to get another win on the road. So I'm going to back Bruna Brasil to win by decision. Next up, we have Nikolai Veretennikov versus Niko Price. Now, Veretennikov is a 13-7 Kazakhstan man, 36 years of age. I mean, he's not had the greatest UFC career so far. I mean, he's 1-3 in total, loses Danny Barlow, Vanderford, Soriano. Did win a split decision against Francisco Prado, to be fair to him. He got that. But yeah, not had the best time in the UFC. Did lose on the Contender Series to Michael Morales back in the day as well. So overall, I do rate Veretennikov. He has got a good fighter in there, but he's not been having the best of times with his opponents. His opponent here is Niko Price, an American man, same age, 36, 16-9 record. He's not had a great run at the minute. I mean, I'm surprised he's still in the UFC, to be honest. He has 1 win in his last 5 fights since his last win before that was 2021. He beat Alex Morono by split decision, which is not impressive, really. And around that, he's been finished quite a lot. KO'd by Robbie Lawler, if you remember that. KO'd by Phil Rowe. I mean, he's just got a lot of losses. He's 8-9 in the UFC and 2 no contests. I just can't see him winning in this fight. I mean, surely Veretennikov is good enough to beat Niko Price, so I'm going to back Veretennikov to win, and I reckon he gets the KO here. Now, next up, Alex Morono versus Daniil Donchenko. Now, just talked about Alex Morono, and here he is popping up on the card. The American man, 24-12 record, 35 years of age. I mean, his like record's not great, to be honest. I mean, he's lost his last 3 in a row, got KO'd by Leal in his last fight, lost a split decision to D-Rod, lost to Nico Price, who we just mentioned. His last win was against Court McGee. He's just, yeah, at this point in his career, a very average fighter. He's 13-9 in the UFC. I mean, he's had a lot of fights, but yeah, I just don't think he's doing too well at the minute. And his opponent is up and comer Donchenko, 12-2, Ukrainian man, 24 years of age. I mean, he looks pretty good. I've got to say, just coming off the Ultimate Fighter, got a KO in that, and then KO'd Cezinando in his first fight in the UFC by round 1 KO. I mean, he's got a lot of finishes on his record, 8 wins in total by KO, 2 wins by submission. I mean, yeah, I think he does look good, and I feel like this shouldn't be too much hassle for him here. So I reckon Donchenko wins this fight by KO. Now we move up the card to where Dustin Jacoby versus Julius Walker. Now, I'm pretty sure this was meant to be a different fight. I think it was meant to be Satiboliev, which I was looking forward to because I do like Satiboliev quite a bit. But he's pulled out, I think, so Dustin Jacoby has stepped in. The 21-9 American man. 37 years of age. There's a few unks on this card, to be fair. A lot of guys, 36, 37. He's on a 2-fight win streak, to be fair to Jacoby. Got a win last year against Bruno Lopez, round 1 KO. Got a round 3 KO against Vitor Petrino, quite a bit ago. But yeah, lost to Dominic Reyes before that. And he's lost a few times to like Menefield, Mirzakhanov, Roundtree. So overall, Dustin Jacoby is a pretty good fighter. Lost to some like the best in the division, to be fair. But I don't know, he's on short notice here, so we'll see how he performs against Julius Walker, who's a 7-1 American man, 26 years of age, so the younger fighter here. Came into the UFC, got a split decision against Alonzo Menefield. I think I picked him to win that, and then, yeah, it wasn't his first fight in the UFC, to be fair, hard, tough opponents. But before that, he was like all finishes outside the UFC. Like, he's only had 1 decision win in his career, and that was his last fight against Cachoeira. He got the decision there, but I'm pretty sure like everyone's been KOing him, and then he's the one guy who gets the decision, which is kind of mental. But he's fighting Jacoby. This one, I feel like Jacoby should win this, but I do fancy Walker here. I mean, I think he might be underdog odds. I'm not sure, but I do fancy Walker. He's got a good chance. I feel like this is going to decision, to be honest. I feel like Jacoby's got a good, like, best chance of knocking out Walker and winning, but I don't think Walker's going to get knocked out here, so I'm going to back Walker to win by decision. And now, next up, we have Gene Matsumoto versus Farid Basharat. Now, the other of the Basharat brothers, the better one, 14-0 Afghanistan man, 28 years of age. I mean, he is the better one because he hasn't lost yet, to be fair. He's been pretty decent in the UFC. Only had 1 finish, was a submission win. Around that, he's just had decisions, but he's getting the job done. Just beat Gutierrez, beat Victor Hugo before that, and Lapulis, and yeah, I mean, he's got some decent wins, to be fair, and overall, he's a pretty solid fighter. His opponent, Gene Matsumoto, is also a solid fighter, 17-1 record for the Brazilian man, 26 years of age. I mean, his only loss was a split decision to Rob Font, and honestly, there's arguments it was a robbery, that fight. I mean, it's very close. But then coming off a split decision win in his last fight against Miles Johns, he's, you know what, he's overall quite solid. I mean, he's 3-1 in the UFC. Outside of that, the UFC was undefeated in like LFA and stuff. He's overall, yeah, pretty good fighter. Most of his wins coming by decision. So I have a pretty high chance this fight is going to go the full distance. That's my pick for this one. But both these guys, yeah, pretty good. And I feel like Basharat will just edge out a decision here. There is chance Matsumoto wins, but I mean, he's had 2 split decision wins in a row, kind of shaky. So I'm going to back Basharat to win by decision. Now, next up, we have Michael Oleksiejczuk versus Marc-Andre Barriault. Now, Oleksiejczuk is the Polish man, 21-9, record 30 years of age. Actually, doing all right at the minute. I mean, he was had a bit of a bad run, 3 losses in a row. But to be fair, there was Michael Pereira, Kevin Holland, and then Sharon Magomedov. So some tough fights in there. Lost to Barriault before that. So he's lost to some of the top guys. But he's come back. He KO'd Dumas in his fight, KO'd Meerschaert just before this fight. So he had 2 wins, both by KO last year, so it's pretty good 2025 for Oleksiejczuk. He's only 30 as well, so he's still got time. Just a little blip in his career when he lost a couple of fights. His opponent, Marc-Andre Barriault, is a 17-10 Canadian man, 35 years of age now, 26-9 in total in the UFC. I mean, his time's probably up soon if he keeps losing. But he was in a 3-fight losing streak as well. Got KO'd twice by Joe Piper and Dustin Stoltzfus. Then got his own KO with elbows against Bruno Silva. Then just lost a decision to Shara Magomedov. So overall, I don't think Barriault is that good. I mean, he has a few decent wins. Like overall, he's just a pretty average fighter in general. But I got Oleksiejczuk winning this fight here. I do think he's the better fighter. Got some hype coming into this one, like some confidence of 2 wins. I mean, when Oleksiejczuk wins, he usually wins in style, gets a finish. So I'm going to back Oleksiejczuk to win by KO. Now moving up the card to Jailton Almeida versus Rizvan Kuniev. Now this one is I think Almeida is stepping on show, like not don't know how short notice it is, but I'm pretty sure it was meant to be that Ryan Spann withdrew from this fight, so Jailton Almeida has stepped up. The Brazilian man, 22-4 record for 34 years of age. He's such an annoying fighter, especially when you've got a bet on him. Like I mean, he's 8-2 now in the UFC. Just like his 2 losses to Curtis Blades and then Alexander Volkov. That Volkov fight was like, I was shouting at my TV, just throw a punch, because he could have he lost a split decision there. Like Volkov didn't do much at all, but the only reason Jailton lost is because he didn't throw any punches when he was on top of him. Literally could have threw a couple, won the round, and yeah, that was a frustrating performance. But he's definitely one of the better heavyweights in the division. I mean, his grappling is like probably one of the best in the division. He's really good at holding people down. Just he needs to do something when he gets them down. Like Defay did finish 2 fights in a row, submitted Romanov, KO'd Spivak. I mean, he is a good fighter. Has obviously some good wins in the UFC. Now he's fighting Kuniev, who is just new to the UFC. 13-3 record for the Russian man, 33 years of age. Won on the Contender Series, round 1 KO, and then lost a split decision in his fight against Curtis Blades. I mean, he probably could have won that. It was a very close fight. I think Blades did just do enough to beat him. So both these guys have a loss to Curtis Blades, so it does kind of make sense, this fight. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't think he should be a match for Jailton in this fight. Maybe the short notice will affect it, but I'm backing Jailton with some confidence here. I don't know how he's going to get it done. I hope he gets a finish here, but I can't trust it. So I'm going to back Almeida to win by decision. And now we move up to the co-main event, Amir Albazi versus Kyoji Horiguchi. Now, fun fight here at flyweight. We have an Albazi, who is their Iraq man, 17-2 record, 32 years of age. His last fight was against Brandon Moreno, lost the decision. I thought he would do better than that in his fight, but yeah, Brandon Moreno kind of schooled him for that fight night. And then before that, got the dodgy split decision win over Cachoeira France, and then around that, he's been doing alright. I mean, he's alright. He's 5-1 in the UFC. His only other loss was outside of the UFC, so he is pretty good fighter. You've got to say, definitely in the top 10 flyweight. Horiguchi, on the other hand, is the Japanese man, 35-5 record, 35 years of age. I mean, he's a fun fighter. I mean, he's come back to the UFC after his hiatus for Rizin and Bellator and stuff, and came back with a bang. I mean, that was a really good performance against Ulanbekov. Got the submission win. I mean, I did not see that coming. I thought Ulanbekov would be good in that fight, but yeah, he did get the win, and impressive. And it's a new face for the flyweight rankings and stuff. So I look forward to more of his fights. So I reckon he does win this fight. I just think Albazi, his last 2 fights have been not that great from him, and I just feel like Horiguchi will get the win here. I mean, I'd be love to see him get another finish, but I'm going to back Horiguchi to win by decision. And now we move up to the main event, Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira. Now, this is actually quite an underrated fight. A lot of people slating this card, but I do like this fight in general. The American man, Bautista, 16-3 record, 32 years of age. I mean, he got so much hate there when he fought Jose Aldo. I mean, I don't know how that guy coped. He must have had so many messages from that fight. He won the split decision against Jose Aldo. I mean, it was a very frustrating fight to watch, to be fair, but he's just holding up Aldo against the cage and stuff. But then he came back, beat Patchy Mix, and then lost to Umar Nurmagomedov in his last fight. But I mean, who hasn't lost to Umar Nurmagomedov apart from Merab? So yeah, he's lost the top of the division. Apart from that, pretty clean UFC record. I mean, he's 10-3 in total. Hasn't lost since 2021. Lost to like Trevin Jones and lost to Corey Sandhagen in his debut. So overall, a very highly talented fighter. His opponent is also pretty talented. Vinicius Oliveira, Brazilian man, 23-3 record, 30 years of age. I mean, I like watching him fight. He's quite a fun fighter. I mean, he is pretty good as well. I mean, he's undefeated in the UFC, 4-0. Some good wins as well. Beat Said Nurmagomedov, beat Ricky Simone, just beat Kyler Phillips. In his last fight, had that amazing KO of the year against Bernardo Sapage. That was incredible flying knee KO. And yeah, he's I do rate him as a fighter. He's very fun fight style, and yeah, this should be a very close fight. I mean, honestly, I was really umming and ahhing about this for ages about who's gonna win. Like, it's easy to just pick Bautista because he's fought more high level opponents. Like just coming off a loss against Umar Nurmagomedov, rocked Umar as well with that knee. So this is a pretty high level fight. I like it a lot, and I'm gonna back Oliveira. I think, I mean, I think he probably will be the underdog, I'm gonna guess, but I see the vision. I see the talent in Oliveira. I mean, he has got a good chance to win this. Just needs a couple rounds in this fight. I mean, obviously it's a 5-rounder this one, so a bit different. So we'll see who's going to come out on top. But I'm going to back Oliveira to win by decision. So there we have it. There are my picks for UFC Fight Night this weekend. Let me know down in comments if you agree or disagree with my picks. And that's all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed me, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.